We don't see each other every day. We talk occasionally on the phone, but that term's probably overused. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for Karl Malone, and I think he feels the same way.
Clearly, your relationship with Karl Malone is one of the most unique experiences, I think, in basketball. Because, look, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, look at the tension between them. Shaq and Kobe clearly had tension. It seems from afar, Karl Malone and John Stockton was nothing but love, to the point that when Karl Malone felt like he needed to stand up for you, or I don't know, knock Isaiah down a peg or two, he did it. And so the bond between you and Karl Malone is, I don't know what I would compare it to in sports. I don't think Magic and Kareem, not that they didn't get along, but they were such different guys. I don't think they had that kind of brotherly bond that you and Karl Malone have. Tell me about your relationship with Karl, the Mailman, and just why you two, and maybe it's because you're both kind of small town. I know Karl's from the South and the country. Uh-oh. Yeah, just go your relationship with Karl Malone.
It's hard to well, it is what it is. Karl and I met in the 1984 Olympic trials, which neither one of us made that team. That was coached by Coach Knight. We're going to the lunchroom one day. We don't know each other from Adam, and there's a table open, and Karl and I just kind of plunked down next to each other and started a conversation, and it was unbelievable how easy the conversation was. It was, that was a tense time. There was, 80 of us or 70 of us, something like that, all practicing and trying in 3 practices a day, 2 hours each, to try to make a team of 12. And so, it was all cordial, but there was no love lost between probably anybody there. But this kid from Spokane, that country kid from Louisiana, sat down on a table and had a conversation that lingered. We enjoyed the talk. So fast forward 2 years, I go on to the Jazz, and Karl finishes college, and he gets drafted by the Jazz. And I said, man, that's kind of a coincidence. I know that guy. I'd even almost call him a friend. We had a nice conversation. So he comes to Salt Lake, and he and I go walking through Hogle Zoo up there together one day and just kind of reacquaint ourselves. And we weren't wrong. We were there. There was something there. We were going to be buddies. And then when we got on the court there, I felt there was something magical. The guy read my mind. He caught everything. He finished everything. He had all my work ethic and then some. He loved the game, and just one thing after another, just kind of bond. To where now he's literally inseparable for me as a brother. I mean, we don't see each other every day. We talk occasionally on the phone, but that term's probably overused. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for Karl Malone, and I think he feels the same way.
So, I listening you to describe it from afar, we would think, well, okay, this is Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, that John Stockton's the quarterback and Karl Malone's the receiver. But you kind of described it a little bit. It's more of a combination. He read your mind and understood how you played, and you read his mind and understood how he played. It just seemed like such a natural fit. I don't know, you handed the mailman the mail, and he'd stuff it in your mailbox.
Well, you don't hand the mailman the mail if he doesn't deliver. There's a reason why we looked for him. I mean, I think of a pass. It's one of the most memorable plays for me that largely went unnoticed. But 7'4" Ralph Sampson was on the low side of Karl, just draped over him. There's nothing but his long arm completely shielding any passing angle for Karl at all. And of course, I have a guy guarding me. And I don't know why I threw it, and I don't know how this came to be, but I threw the pass behind Ralph's head, and Karl's looking this way. And just as I started to throw, he wheeled and caught it behind Ralph's head like that and laid it up. And I went, wow, what was that? I mean, he is literally reading my mind because I threw a dart. I mean, it was probably going to knock the cameraman out if it got through, and he just snapped it up, laid it up like it was nothing, and we went down the other way. I said, there's something special about this guy.